Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're continuing our celebration of 4th of July weekend here with the American Legendary Tier Cruisers. There's Einstein, Halloween Commander, Cruiser Commander, great pickup. One of the better commanders in the game, especially if you like the American Heavy Cruisers. He's got double turret traverse boosts, which really make the line a lot better. So here we got Domination Mode, Crash Zone. We're on the A side. And it ends up being a pretty good game. I think we had just about 3,000 points at the end. So pretty good scoring game overall. But we'll start off playing the side that we spawn on, of course, hoping the destroyer gets onto the cap. He's not playing yet. That's always a little worrisome, right, when the puck drops and nobody's moving, especially those destroyers. There's the smoke coming out of the smokestack. Okay, good sign. And it doesn't look like he's making some wild turn off to go over towards B or C. So things are looking up. So here, this big long island directly to the south of us, you can see on the side that's nearest to us, there's a little ridge where, you got the low left-hand side of the island and then the big step up where you can't really shoot over that close range. Those are intentional design choices. These islands are intentionally shaped by the programmers. It's not just to look interesting or whatever. Those are the things you're supposed to be looking for as particularly a cruiser player when we're trying to utilize these islands. Look for stuff that we can actually shoot over while still protecting ourselves. So Grover pops up here first. Go ahead and take a shot, hoping that by the time his guns got on us that we would be drop spot like we did just there. But it looks like he got one shot off on us, which was a little disconcerting. I don't think he had us locked though or whatever because it hits the little ridge we were talking about a moment ago. So no harm, no foul. Don't get really much damage on him, just a couple grand, 2-3 grand to start it off with. But the destroyer moving into A. Now, as a destroyer player, he's probably saying to himself, all right, this is great. I got 3 support ships. What he needs to keep in mind, though, is due to our positioning, none of us can actually support him. Okay, so if he gets charged by a radar cruiser or a destroyer or something like that, even though he's got numerous teammates that are all within a square or two of him, currently not able to protect him. So we're going to charge forward here. Gearing, attacking the Shima. Not sure quite exactly how aggressive. It ends up being that he's just going to be sitting kind of on the far. You can pressure the cap on A on the south side behind this island, which is basically what he's trying to do. But he would have been better off recognizing the situation that, okay, I got an isolated destroyer here. Maybe I rush him, pop the smoke, disengage, and get their destroyer off the board. He's poking out over here, though. We're going to give him a little tap just to say, what up? And then he immediately backs up there, trying to preserve his control on the cap. We got the radar going here. Nobody on our team can really shoot him, though. And this is just going to be a little bit of a slow minute or two. They got Grover back there. They got the gearing. I think there's another battleship, Omagi, that's going to pop up way in the back. We got our Shima that's pressuring the cap, and then we got 2 more battleships that are kind of coming up right behind me here. So nobody really taking too many chances, which is all right. But on the other side, they've eliminated 2 of our cruisers. We got one of their destroyers over there. So at least we got the pressure on A and C, but thus far, no caps under control for either team. Shima gets a little bored. I think he's trying to find angle to torp. These guys are sitting there. Gearing once again pops forward here. We had AP loaded, discharge that all over him, and then switch over to the HE. He's once again going to back up here and go back into the defensive posture. So now we got the battleship back on A. He's just charging into these guys. That's fine. A little bit risky with that gearing, but the gearing does have a really long torpedo reload. I don't know if he's thinking about that or not, but potentially be all right. Omagi, long range. We're going to go ahead and keep firing at him, see what kind of damage we can get with this AP. Des Moines is basically the same type of shells as the Baltimore, but they fire every 5 seconds. So, I mean, this thing's capable of doing monstrous amounts of damage when you get it connecting. Long range shots, though, people always ask me why we don't put the range mods on some of these American ships. Look at time to target, 11.5 seconds already. Adding another kilometer or whatever reach, well, now we're talking 12, 13, 14 seconds time to target. That's ridiculously long. It's very hard to hit anything at that range just because if they move slightly, you're guaranteed to miss. So I don't really tend to boost range on these high floating type American type shots. either the light cruisers or the heavy cruisers. I think the range is fine, and the shells work better the closer you can get them anyway. So gearing popping out over here. We're trying to get him off the board, of course. There goes his torpedo stash. He's trying to get the Shima sitting in the cloud. Trying to get him off, trying to get the Samagi wounded down here. Utilizing the island once again to keep us safe. We're kind of in the back line compared to the Flander, compared to the other ships on our team here, the Shima. So we're not necessarily going to be the highest priority target for these guys, but we're not really giving them the option. You can see the majority of this time we've tried to be remaining unspotted, using these little bends on the island to shoot over. Keeping an eye on the map, though, we see the other side having a little bit of problems. They did capture C, pushing our guys back. We got a battleship that's kind of in trouble there, and they're trying to surround him. So these guys, I'm quite sure, aren't paying attention to our side, but they are aggressively attacking here. So we're going to try and keep this battleship alive, or at least help out the situation. Des Moines the first one coming around here. We got 2 shots in the air before he even knows that we're thinking about him. Unless he's got Ingenious saying someone's targeting him. Might give him a little bit of a hint, but he slams on the brakes as soon as that first citadel will hit him. And then he begins angling towards us. So they stop pushing into the battleship that's kind of pinned over there. And now they're trying to focus on us. So angles in towards us. We go ahead and switch to HE. We'll try and take 1 or 2 more shots. And then we're just going to go back to playing the side that we're at over here. Both the Alaska and the Des Moines saw us over here. They're like, okay, if we push into that battleship, we got to go broadside. Des Moines, scary ship. He's going to tear us to shreds. So we're in their heads, at least. And then we go back over here. That'll give them time to think, okay, well, maybe I can get away with rushing that battleship again. And if we see that happening on the map, then we'll go ahead and back up a little bit and re-attack them. Meantime, Amagi, see, we started off with 36,000. And you might be saying, you know, almost nearly halfway through the game, we're just breaking 40,000. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're doing much in terms of production this game. But Amagi quickly whittled down here, and he's going to go down in the span of about 30 seconds. So we take him off. Here's the Alaska. Once again, he's thinking, okay, I can go push back into that battleship, duel him close range, and win him, or beat that ship in a slugfest. Not when the Des Moines punching you in the sides. Okay, so we're trying to, I'd like to get that other Des Moines off. Looked like he briefly dropped spot there. In Alaska, he's juicy, though, and very hard ship to damage when it's angled towards you. So whenever you get shots in the side of the Alaska, typically you're going to go ahead and take advantage of those opportunities. So once again, rapid damage, rapid accrual of damage. Just keep an eye on that damage counter and how quickly it's going up. Span of 20-30 seconds to get 20-30,000, and that's just withering, brutal damage. He just does take out the Montana, which is the ship that they were trying to get rid of in the first place. They got our destroyer up there on the run, but we're going to try and make them pay here. We got that Alaska down. Des Moines, we're going to back up here, attack him. No need. Looks like he's got a sea of torpedoes coming his way. Boom, down he goes. Shima takes him out. And so now we're going to start pinging the caps. Okay, we're up 30 points. We're up a full ship, though. And that means that they've been doing a little bit better job with the background scoring. And they got more stronger weighted ships. They got 2 battleships and a cruiser. We got 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, 2 destroyers. All right, so that accounts for the discrepancies in the score. If we can get B, if we can get C even, and it looks like that northern destroyer is thinking about going back to grab C, which would be a great insurance play, then this game's going to look a lot better. So we got something to the south of us. I'm trying to attack this Montana, particularly in the sides, if we can get some crossfire shots on him. We do got to keep an eye on the Sochikov, and completely lost track of the 3rd ship. Now you can see on the map where it was last seen, I'm going into attack the Ochkov mode here, and then all of a sudden, I think it's the Grober still that's going to pop up. There he is right there. Immediately we're targeted. Immediately it's like, oh boy, this is throw territory. We're about to die here. So we'll see if we can get some damage on the Ochkov before the Grober kills us. Of course, we're turning away from him as quickly as possible with the intent of running. There goes half our health. Ooch. Ochkov, sure, we get him a little bit damage back, but at this point we're thinking to ourselves, okay, this is the sequence of the death of the Des Moines. So we'll just see if we can get any more production before we go down. And this is a good illustration how the game is designed to work. Cruisers stay the heck away from battleships. Okay, the only time you really want to get close to them is if you got an island that you can play near and torpedo them close range. Okay, trying to torp a battleship in open water by rushing at them, they'll sink you by the time you get into range usually. Ships like this where we don't have torpedoes, there's never a good reason to be that close to them. Something like an Alaska that can trade shots. It's got the armor, it's got the punching guns. Okay, a ship like that can get close, but Des Moines, we have no reason to ever get close to this thing. We definitely don't want the secondaries going off, compounding damage on us. And here we're just going to get basically out of this guy's range. We're going to sail away from him the whole time. We'll keep resetting them, setting them on fire, resetting the base, getting plenty of nice scoring out of that play. Got the Confederate and everything else. But had we continued to push forward, either to try and get the Ochkov or for some reason to try and fight the Grober close range, this game would be over already. So that's good defensive play there. Just need to be a little bit more attentive on where the Grober was in the first place. But sometimes you just lose track of guys like that. So he's nearly out of range here. We're just content to keep sailing there. We dropped the spot, or we're about to, it looks like. There it goes. And we'll immediately turn back into them. Okay, we're not continuing to sail off, run away. Yeah, we got a 2 cap advantage, but they got some difficult ships. Our destroyer does get onto sea, which is great. And that's not a play a lot of destroyers make. They usually get late in the game. They say, oh, I need some more damage. I'm going to go sail off and maybe even try and suicide rush some ship. Here, that almost guarantees the win. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. And if that destroyer, even if he captures the base, it's going to take, what, 30 more seconds? And then by the time he could get in range to kill himself as the 4th hypothetical kill here, he would have a hard time doing that. So that guy's basically single-handedly winning the game here. We get 3,000 points. I think another ship, maybe that destroyer up there, gets 3,000 as well. But one of the destroyers, I think, had a really good scoring game. And that play right there is probably part of it. So Grober, he kept hitting the island. He's backing up here. We're trying to get in a position to attack him in the side. He's, of course, angled at the Yamato, who's rushing him. But even if we can't get him at this point in time, we'd like to get some more shots on that Ochkov. It was kind of fun shooting the Ochkov earlier, and we'd like to continue doing so if possible. Trying to sneak a shot over that ridge at the Grober, just seeing if we can squeeze a little bit more damage before he goes down. But those ships end up killing each other simultaneously. And now it's one radar cruiser and 2 destroyers. There's 1 radar cruiser. And the Ochkov, he's been kiting away, I guess, trying to contribute fighting the Montana. That's fine. But at this point in time, he's got to be charging in. And it's really unfortunate for him that we have this 3-0 cap now, because the score will just become so unmanageable that even if he does get lucky and get a couple kills, I think like there he's must have radared the destroyer shooting at him. Unless the destroyer shot and I didn't see. But as soon as we get him in range, we're going to chime in with the guns here. Mostly sailing broadside, coming in a little bit, but the guns, even at this range, if we ever can connect a shot, they'll start tearing that ship to shreds. So the Alaska, or the Des Moines, outstanding firepower. And you can see the burst capabilities. Kind of like a battleship where, the damage might, stay stagnant for a little while, then all of a sudden opportunity arises and you can get 20, 30, 40,000 damage in the span of just a few pulls of the trigger. So he loses track of the destroyer. Once his radar goes out, he begins shooting me, who's the much bigger threat to him anyways. At this point in time, he's got 2 minutes to sink the whole team, and it's not looking good. Both destroyers are kind of rushing towards him, which gives him a little bit of a chance, but he's getting so low on health here that I think those guys, if they open up with them on the guns, they could probably kill them themselves. And of course, we're not going to go be the 3rd ship sunk over here either. So trying to move forward here, trying to get that Ochkov off the board for the 3rd kill and wrap the game up. So moving forward, minute 20 left. Pretty good chance here. We're going to begin aiming, and we'll keep an eye on this white triangle. As soon as that disappears off the screen, that'll tell us that our shots are clear from the middle of the ship's perspective, and since the guns we're firing with are on the front, then we would know for a fact that those guns are clear. Get a decent shot there. Now that we can actually aim the shot, both the destroyers are indeed chiming in with the guns, but we will take him off for the 3rd kill. So that's a look at the Des Moines for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. We got lots of World Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, Comments, leave below. Love to hear from you. And we'll see y'all later. Happy 4th. Peace.